Hey, this word, gentlemen, let me tell you something. Life has a funny way of showing us who we are through the people around us. Sometimes the very thing we're chasing, praying for, waiting on is already standing right next to us. You're out here asking God for a sign, for a blessing, for somebody to come change your life. And he's saying, he's already your me. You know, one of the hardest lessons in life is learning how to truly appreciate the people who already care about you. It's funny, we spend so much time looking for new people to validate us, new friends to impress, new opportunities to prove ourselves, that we forget to look back at the folks who've been clapping for us since day one. The truth is, appreciation is one of the purest forms of love. When you appreciate somebody, you don't take their presence lightly. You don't overlook their efforts or their quiet consistency. You recognize that their love, loyalty, and support are not promises, they're gifts. And the thing about gifts is when you stop valuing them, you stop deserving them. See, the world we live in today is fast, loud, and filled with distractions. Everybody's chasing the next big thing, the next relationship, the next job, the next like or follower. But sometimes the real blessing is right there, sitting next to you at the dinner table, calling to check on you when nobody else does, believing in your dreams, even when you've stopped believing in them yourself. Appreciation is about awareness. It's about seeing the beauty in the ordinary. You may not have the most exciting life, but if you have people who genuinely want to see you win, you are already rich. People who support you don't always come in grand gestures. They come in small, everyday acts. They're the ones who send you that text that says, "I'm proud of you." They're the ones who stay when things get messy, when life doesn't go according to plan. They're the ones who see the best in you when you can only see the worst. But too often, we get so focused on the noise, on who didn't show up, who left, who didn't clap, that we overlook the ones who never stopped clapping. And that, right there, is the biggest mistake we make in relationships, friendships, and even in family. Let me tell you something. Appreciation isn't just about saying thank you. It's about showing it. Anybody can say the words, but actions speak volumes. You show appreciation by being present, by listening, by valuing what someone brings into your life. It doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Sometimes appreciation is as simple as saying, "I see you. I know what you do for me, and I don't take it for granted." The people who love you don't need perfection. They just need to feel seen. They need to know their efforts aren't invisible. We often think love fades because people change. But most of the time, love fades because appreciation fades. When someone feels unseen, when they feel like what they do doesn't matter, they start to withdraw. Appreciation keeps relationships alive. It fuels connection. It reminds people that they are valuable. And here's the thing. Appreciation doesn't bless the person you give it to. It blesses you too. It makes you more grateful, more grounded, and more aware of what truly matters. Imagine this. You've got a friend who's always been there. Every time you needed help, they showed up. Every time you doubted yourself, they encouraged you. But lately, you've been too busy, too caught up in your own world to return the same energy. You start thinking they'll always be there because they always have been. Then one day, they stop calling. They stop checking in. They stop trying. And suddenly, you realize what you lost wasn't just a friend. It was a foundation. That's what happens when we stop appreciating people. They don't always leave with anger. Sometimes they leave with silence. And silence hurts the most because it's filled with all the words that were never said. Appreciation is a choice. Every single day, you have a chance to notice something good about the people around you. The partner who listens, even when you're not making sense. The parent who sacrifices quietly. The friend who forgives you again and again. The coworker who supports your ideas. The mentor who believes in your potential. Don't wait until they're gone to say what should have been said. Don't wait for a funeral to speak the words of gratitude that could have been spoken in life. Because appreciation after loss is just regret dressed up as wisdom. When you truly appreciate people, you see them differently. You stop taking their efforts as obligations and start seeing them as blessings. You realize that no one owes you their time, their loyalty, or their belief. Those things are freely given, and that makes them priceless. When someone believes in you, they are investing their heart into your journey. They are saying, I see something in you worth standing beside. That's not something you can buy, and it's not something you should ever take for granted. In relationships, appreciation is like water. Without it, everything dries up. You can't build something lasting if you only focus on what's missing instead of what's there. Sometimes people say, I'll appreciate them when they do more. But it doesn't work like that. People do more when they feel appreciated. Love grows where it's nurtured. Support strengthens when it's acknowledged. You get back what you give. Even in your personal growth, appreciation matters. When you learn to appreciate others, it softens your heart. It teaches you humility. It reminds you that no one succeeds alone. Behind every strong person is someone who prayed for them, encouraged them, or simply refused to give up on them. Success without appreciation is empty because gratitude is what gives meaning to achievement. And let me tell you something about belief. When someone believes in you, it's powerful. They might not have all the answers. They might not be able to fix everything for you, but their belief gives you strength. Sometimes that belief is the only reason you keep going. It's easy to underestimate how much those little words, I believe in you, can change a person's entire direction. When someone believes in you at your lowest, they're not just seeing who you are, they're seeing who you can become. And that deserves appreciation every single time. So maybe today is the day you send that message. Maybe it's the day you look somebody in the eye and say, I'm thankful for you. Maybe it's the day you stop assuming people know how you feel and start telling them. Because appreciation unspoken is love unfinished. And you never know what kind of healing your gratitude might bring. People carry silent battles, unseen pain, and heavy hearts. And sometimes, a simple word of thanks is the light they didn't know they needed. At the end of the day, appreciating the people who already support and believe in you isn't just about kindness. It's about awareness. It's about realizing that life moves fast and good people are rare. It's about understanding that what you take for granted today could be what you miss the most tomorrow. And when you live with that awareness, you start to yet better. You start to live better, and you start to see that the greatest treasures in life are not things. They're people. It's one of the strangest things about human nature. We're always chasing something, always reaching for the next thing, always looking for the next person, the next opportunity, the next better version of what we already have. We get caught up in this endless cycle of wanting, and in the process, we forget how to simply see We forget to pause and recognize that maybe, just maybe what we've been praying for, crying for, and hustling for is already sitting right in front of us. The problem isn't that we don't have enough. It's that we don't notice what we already have. You can appreciate if you're always staring at what's ahead. We live in a world that constantly tells us to want more. Social media feeds us highlight reels of other people's lives, and suddenly what we have doesn't feel like enough. Your house feels too small. Your job feels too plain. Your relationship feels too ordinary. You start comparing your reality to someone else's performance, forgetting that what they show is filtered and edited while your life is real and raw. This constant chasing steals our peace. It keeps us in a place of restlessness, always thinking happiness is one step away. But the truth is, happiness is not found in the next thing. It's found in noticing what's already yours. When you stop chasing what you already have, you learn contentment. And contentment doesn't mean you stop growing or dreaming. It means you stop living like you're always missing something. It means you start seeing the beauty in what's been with you all along. Think about it. How many times have you asked God for something? And then once you got it, you move on to the next request without even taking a moment to appreciate it. You asked for the job, and now you complain about the hours. You asked for love, and now you nitpick the flaws. You prayed for peace, and when life got calm, you called it boring. We're so used to chasing storms that we forget to rest in the sunshine. Recognizing your blessings is not just about saying, thank you. It's about shifting your entire perspective. It's realizing that what you already have might be what somebody else is praying for. Your small apartment might be someone's dream home. Your average job might be another person's second chance. Your relationship, with all its imperfections, might be the exact kind of love someone else is hoping to find. When you start seeing your life through that lens, gratitude grows. And gratitude changes everything. It doesn't change your situation, it changes how you see it. We often think we're missing something, but in reality, we're missing appreciation. We're chasing illusions of better because we've forgotten how to sit still and feel blessed. The reason some people can't be happy is because they've built a habit of overlooking the good. They've trained their eyes to see only what's lacking. If you always focus on what's missing, your life will always feel incomplete. But if you train yourself to see what's already present, you'll realize you have more than enough. The richest person in the world isn't the one who has the most. It's the one who needs the least. There's a story that plays out in many lives. Someone spends years searching for the right person, the right partner, the right love. They think love will look a certain way, grand, glamorous, and effortless. But while they're searching for that fantasy, they overlook the person who's been standing beside them all along, quietly loving them through their flaws, cheering them on through their failures. Then one day, they realize that what they were chasing was already home. That's the heartbreak of not recognizing your blessings. Sometimes, by the time you notice what you had, it's already gone. When you chase what's already yours, you live in constant dissatisfaction. You start to sabotage what's good because you think there's always something better. But better doesn't always mean happier. More doesn't always mean meaningful. Sometimes less noise, fewer people, and smaller circles bring the greatest peace. The world tells you to upgrade everything. Your phone, your car, your clothes, even your relationships. But this world doesn't need upgrades. It needs peace, purpose, and appreciation. If you can't find joy where you are, you won't find it anywhere else. Because joy is not about location. It's about perception. Recognizing your blessings means slowing down enough to take inventory of your life. Ask yourself, who's been there for me? What do I already have that I once wished for? What am I taking for granted today that I might miss tomorrow? Those questions will humble you. They remind you that blessings aren't always loud. They're often quiet, consistent, and familiar. The same way you don't notice the air you breathe until it's gone. You don't notice the blessings that surround you until life shakes you and reminds you what really matters. Think about the people in your life who show up for you without being asked. The ones who make you laugh, listen to your worries, or simply check in. Think about the roof over your head, the food on your table, the health that allows you to wake up and move. These are things we treat as ordinary, but they are extraordinary in a world where so many go without them. Gratitude isn't a reaction, it's a discipline. You have to practice it daily, especially when life feels ordinary. Because ordinary days, when appreciated, become extraordinary memories later. We often say we want blessings, but blessings require awareness. If you can't recognize the small ones, how will you ever handle the big ones? God doesn't keep giving to people who can't handle gratitude. When you're too busy complaining about what's missing, you close your hands to what's coming. But when you say, "Thank you for what I have," you open the door for more. Gratitude attracts more blessings, not because of magic, but because it changes your spirit. It shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. Sometimes you need to remind yourself that the things you take for granted could be gone in a moment. That job you complain about could be someone else's salvation. That partner you argue with could be someone's answered prayer. That health you neglect could change overnight. Life has a way of teaching appreciation through loss, but wisdom means learning without needing the loss first. Don't wait for absence to make you grateful. Let presence be enough. When you recognize your blessings, you also recognize yourself. You start to see how far you've come, how much you've overcome, and how much grace has carried you. Gratitude humbles you because it reminds you that you didn't get here alone. You start to see the fingerprints of mercy in every chapter of your story. You stop asking, "Why don't I have more?" and start saying, "I already have more than I deserve." That's the kind of mindset that brings peace. That's the kind of realization that quiets the noise. So maybe today, instead of chasing what's next, pause. Look around. You might realize that what you've been looking for has been here all along. In the faces that love you, in the hands that hold you, in the blessings that sustain you. The race to more never ends, but peace begins the moment you say, "What I have is enough." Because the truth is simple. You can't find happiness in what you don't have if you can't be grateful for what you do. And once you stop chasing what's already yours, you'll finally see how blessed you really are. Love has never been about finding someone flawless, because perfection is an illusion. It's not real. The truth is, every person you meet will come with their own scars, their own fears, their own insecurities, and their own mistakes. And if you spend your whole life waiting for perfect love, you'll end up alone, disappointed, and exhausted from chasing something that doesn't exist. Real love, finding a person who never fails you, it's about finding someone who keeps showing up even after they fail. It's about two imperfect people choosing each other day after day with patience, understanding, and purpose. See, we've been sold a lie that love is supposed to be easy and flawless like the movies or the posts we see online. But real love is not filtered. It's raw. It's messy. It's made of arguments, misunderstandings, and forgiveness. It's laughter that heals after tears. It's the quiet nights when words aren't needed, but presence is. Perfection says, I'll stay as long as everything's good. Purpose says, I'll stay because we're building something bigger than our bad days. That's the difference between temporary affection and lifelong love. When you love with purpose, you understand that the relationship isn't just about happiness. It's about growth. Happiness will come and go like the tide, but purpose keeps you anchored when the waves get rough. Purposeful love asks, what are we creating together? What are we learning from each other? It's love that makes you a better version of yourself because it challenges you, refines you, and stretches your heart beyond selfishness. You start to realize that isn't just about what you get from someone. It's about what you give and how both of you become better through it. Consistency is what gives love its power. Anyone can love you for a moment, but it takes real commitment to love you through seasons. Love that lasts isn't loud or dramatic. It's steady. It's built in the little things, the good morning text, the check-in call, the drive safe message, the shoulder to lean on when life gets hard. It's built in showing up when it's inconvenient, staying when it's uncomfortable, and choosing to communicate when silence would be easier. Consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of love. You can't build forever on feelings alone because feelings change, but commitment, that's love's backbone. A lot of people mistake excitement for love. They chase butterflies and fireworks, thinking that thrill is the sign of something real. But butterflies fade and fireworks burn out. What's left after the excitement dies is what determines whether it's love or infatuation. Real love is calm, not chaotic. It doesn't always make your heart race. Sometimes it just makes you feel safe. That safety comes from knowing that even when things go wrong, you won't be abandoned. Consistency says, I'm here even when it's not easy. And that kind of love is worth more than any fantasy you could imagine. Perfection in love would mean never arguing, never disappointing, never making mistakes. But that's not human. Love isn't the absence of mistakes. It's the grace to work through them. It's about saying, I see your flaws, but I still choose you. That's what makes love powerful. The beauty of love is not in its perfection, but in its persistence. Every time two people forgive each other, they rewrite the story of what love can be. They remind the world that broken things can still be beautiful when handled with care. Purposeful love also means understanding that not every relationship will last forever, but every love can teach you something eternal. Sometimes people come into your life to prepare you for the one who's meant to stay. They teach you patience, honesty, boundaries, or self-worth. So even when love doesn't last, it still has purpose. The mistake we make is thinking love failed because it ended. But real love never fails. It just transforms. It becomes wisdom, strength, and compassion for the next chapter of your life. Consistency doesn't mean never changing. It means growing together. Two people in love are not supposed to remain the same. They're supposed to evolve. But the key is to evolve in the same direction. Love should push both of you toward your highest potential, not pull you backward into old patterns. When your relationship has purpose, you celebrate each other's growth instead of fearing it. You understand that love isn't about ownership, it's about partnership. It's about walking side by side, supporting each other's dreams, and reminding each other of your shared vision when life gets hard. We live in a world where people quit fast. Jobs, friendships, relationships, because everything feels replaceable. But real love isn't disposable. You don't throw it away because it got difficult. You repair it, you nurture it, you water it until it blooms again. Consistency is not about staying through abuse or disrespect. It's about